We will begin almost all of our CoDrone programs with this setup code. CoDrone.begin parentheses 115200 parentheses comma. This loads the CoDrone library, begins our connection to the Bluetooth module, and connects to a nearby CoDrone. For this lesson, we will work entirely inside of void setup CoDrone. Void setup and void loop. Both void setup and void loop are built-in functions within the Arduino IDE. The difference between a void setup and a void loop is that loop happens infinitely and setup only happens once. So a setup code is just a setup. So if I was thinking of an afternoon with a tea, you would set up the plate, and then you would set up the cup, and then you would set up the tea, and then you would keep on drinking until you finished. So setup is something like that, I guess. So for our CoDrone, we would be using some code called CoDrone.flight event. This is the event like takeoff or landing. So this 115200 is the Bluetooth connection speed, and so that's why we begin with this. This code here is bringing out the CoDrone library. The code here auto connects to a nearby drone. It says nearby drone here, but it's actually a random drone, and sometimes it can connect to any nearby drone. So if you had multiple drones, the nearest drone to you may not be the one you would connect it to, but it could be the one that is 15 meters away. So in this code, this is the code where you can do the takeoff or landing. So if you wanted to take off, you could write like so: CoDrone.flight event parentheses takeoff. This would make your drone take off. And there's another one called landing. CoDrone.flight event landing. We can use that. We can make something like this: CoDrone flight event takeoff, CoDrone flight event landing. But computers read programs from top to bottom, like you would read books. So sometimes when you write it this close, it just takes off and then immediately goes to landing mode. which would be a split second, and you wouldn't even know that it's taken off. You would think, why did it just stop? So we use commands like delay. Pretty easy. Delay. Self-explanatory. And in here we write the milliseconds. Oh my god. Milliseconds. So this could be 2000 milliseconds, which should be 2 seconds. Or you could write 5,000 or even 10,000. So this would be 10 seconds. So this code would basically make your drone take off and then stop the code at this point for 10 seconds and then go to landing mode. This is very important code, I guess. Delay is very important. If we didn't have a code like delay, then sometimes the computer would skip the code and then go straight to landing, which would not be fun. It just stays there on the ground. You just watch. Isn't it going up? Oh. So basically, that's it. So there's an activity that you can do. The rules are. Oh, by the way, I should have wrote the activities first. Activity: push ups. This is an activity that I did back when I was a beginner in CoDrone. So first, you take off your CoDrone, and then we land it, and then we do that for 3 times. Do that. Take off, land. Take off, land. And then take off, land. 3 times in total. With one code. You can't just write take off, delay 2000, landing, and then reset. That no. You have to do take off, delay 2000, landing, and then delay 2000, take off, delay 2000, landing. Something like that. Then if you can do that, I think you're ready for the next tutorial. Well then, thank you very much for listening to this tutorial.